Well, good evening, everybody. This is Keith with Positively Osceola, another one of our episodes of our evening coffee club discussion. And like I always say, this is not a prop. This is the real deal, folks. Some people accuse me of the only reason we're doing these discussions is so I can have another opportunity to drink coffee. And it's hard to argue that, but it's not accurate. We'll run with it, though. Hey, I've got some special friends with us tonight, and I mean that. We are super duper blessed to be able to speak to some really awesome people in our community, and we do it often, as most of you know. But tonight, some really great friends and some really interesting things we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to introduce them right now, and directly below me is Carolyn Cianciotta, who is a good friend, and we will talk more about her. Also, if I can point the right way, it's kind of weird on these things.
It is weird.
It is Gertude Dorries. How are you tonight?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And last but absolutely not least would be Bob Cardaci. And these wonderful folks are with a wonderful organization called the Order of Sons and Daughters of Italy in America. So something that maybe not everybody is aware of your organization, because we live in crazy busy lives, and so cool opportunity for people who just might not have run into what you guys are and what you do, and from whence you come. So I'm going to start off with Carolyn, because Carolyn and I engage in a bunch of different organizations, it seems, and we're a number of them, and so. Kind of a natural thing. We'll do ladies first, Bob. Hang in there, man.
I understand.
All right. So, Carolyn, why don't you give us a quick overview of what the Order of Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, what the organization is all about, pretty much.
Okay. Our organization is a fraternal order. We raise money for scholarships and for charities. We've been in existence for 115 years. Our order is to keep our heritage alive. That's why we are together. But we also do enjoy having social members in our order. Members that would like Italian food, Italian art, Italian music. So basically, we raise money for charities and scholarships. As I said, that's what our order does. And we have a big sense of fraternalism. We like to meet together, to be together, and to discuss our heritages.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And before I move on to Gertrude real quick, I think what I kind of listed out as as a main topic overview tonight was how successful multi-generational organizations, how you move through the times, how seasons change, how years change, and how you succeed through the test of time. And we kind of mentioned this before we started, but it's very interesting to speak to organizations that have been around more than just a few years. And in your case, the Sons and Daughters of Italy of America, or in America, that many years, there's so much to share. And I think sometimes what we miss is some of the newer organizations. I think they get hyper focused on what they're doing. They get inside their four walls, and they don't look to other organizations' successes. So I hope we can kind of talk a little bit about some of the successes over the years and how you've been such a success for so long. So Gertrude, why don't you tell us a little bit about your participation in the organization and how you view it as well.
Okay. Living here in Florida, I've been with the Osceola County Lodge 15 years. I started in 2005, and I was involved in New York, living on Long Island, like many others, and we attended all the functions with our relatives. I was not a member at that time, but I got very involved. We went to all their picnics and dinner dances. My children attended, and it was just part of being with the Italian family. And even though my husband was not Italian, he just got into it, and most people think he's more Italian than I am. So we had a good time. Here in Florida, it's a great social evening when we're with everybody. We've made great friends. Carol and I are now friends for 15 years. And when we talk with Tony and Bob, I mean, there's so many things that we all are in common. With Bob, I worked with him at one of the elementary schools, so we became good friends through that. And then through the order, it's just continued. So we try to get our children involved because we want them to continue this because it is a wonderful fraternal organization and we like to do and give. And that's what we're all about.
That's wonderful. And I think that's part of obviously something we should focus on tonight briefly anyway, is that multi-generational perspective or aspect to any, long-term organization. There's obviously there's strategy involved, and these days there are so many things going on. We won't dip into the whole effect of what COVID-19 does to all of our organizations. But first, I think we'll bring in the big guy, Bob Cardaci. How are you doing, sir?
I'm well, thank you. I just became president. I've kind of worked different positions over the last 4 or 5 years, but this year I became president. Kind of a tough time to become president, but one of the things that we've done with our organization is trying to continue to grow. We've been able to pick up a couple of members, believe it or not, even in kind of the crazy, weird times that we're in.
Sure.
The other thing that I've done as the president, just because we're an organization, we care about people, we care about our own members, is email each member. I've personally called each member. How are you doing? How are you coping? Do you need anything? It's almost like an outlet for us to work together, not outside the organization, but within the organization.
Sure.
And we've done some things outside the organization as well. We've participated in helping Royal Gardens Assisted Living. We brought them treats one night. It was Carolyn, Tony, and myself that brought them a whole bunch of cookies for not only the staff, but their residents as well. We've sponsored through Kim Dorsey, the kindness vases that she did at St. Cloud Florist. We sponsored a few of those vases. So that, we've done a
He froze up a little.
sense of ownership.
Okay. There he is.
And Keith,
I don't know.
It's okay.
Keith, may I say something?
Sure, please do.
I don't know where.
He'll get you.
Okay, all right, there we go. I don't know what happened. I'm Italian. I talk with my hands, and I think I hit the table. Sorry. But anyway, we really try. Everybody's doing okay. The other thing we did is we found a local restaurant and we sponsored them one night. We did curbside pickup. It's just little things about giving back and kind of being part of the community and letting people know we're out there. We just gave a $2,000 scholarship to a student from Harmony. Oh, that's not me. I didn't do that. To a student that was ready, willing, and able to apply for a scholarship, and she did a great job. And Gertrude and myself and another member, Diane Davey, presented her with some flowers on a sports award that she particularly won on a night. So it was great. So those are the things that we're doing in this time of COVID-19 and trying to still keep our name out there. It's not an easy thing.
And Carolyn, you had something you wanted to add to that?
Yes, and the other thing that we have done this year, we're starting to do a junior membership where we have young members from 14 to 18, sponsored by one of our members to join to help us out in some of our functions and participate in the activities that we have. And I believe that's another good way to keep our organization moving from one generation to the next. We need the younger people to come in. So they're very excited. We have our first 3 members already.
That's great.
Yes.
You know, I think, you know, many of the discussions we have are somewhat focused on what happens to organizations that can't meet currently. I personally think that you're going to see a major slingshot back. I mean, you know, you see hashtag alone together and, you know, hashtag we're in this together and in this together. And I don't think that changes anything. You know, we're on a stall, and possibly we're on a little bit of a longer stall than some would, you know, would have thought by this time of the year. But I think it's okay for now. I think that's just at the end of this. I think there's going to be a greater longing to be in organizations where you can come together and discuss similarities and challenges and how you focus on advocacy for organizations in the community. I think there'll be a large rebound shortly. So so you mentioned membership. So why don't we talk a little bit about that? Anybody that wants to kind of talk about, if somebody was interested, they were hearing tonight or they hear in the next few days or over the next few months, they just didn't know that you are in Osceola County, you have an Osceola Lodge. So how does somebody connect with you guys?
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, Bob, go for it.
The way someone would connect with us is contact one of us, Carolyn, myself, or Gertrude. We're all on either Facebook or email or even through your venue. They could reach out to us. But we even looking for social members, not even the Italian heritage background. But we have some social members that are doing some great things for us. We've been able to do some things for some local charities. Help Now, we've been very helpful too. Several times a year, we've been involved in their different walks, a mile in their shoes. We participated in that at Thanksgiving time. We participated in sponsoring meals for about almost 100 families that are having a difficult time with domestic violence. And we've been able to, you know, help sponsor some of those meals around Thanksgiving time. So we are looking for members, and, you know, even social members would be a great help. Like I said, we have some social members now that are a huge asset to us. And it's about giving back to the community. It's about giving back to your city, your town. You know, maybe we're doing something with with one of the assisted livings. I mean, every year we've gone to Royal Garden, and someone is, you know, Santa Claus comes and there's cookies and Christmas music and things like that, and the residents there absolutely love it. So those are some little snapshots, some little things that we've been able to do in the last few years, but we do a lot more. We do hold events. They're fundraising events, but those fundraising events help us to give various scholarships. And last year, through Carolyn's great ingenuity with Cinderella's Closet and Gertrude's hard work with that, we've been able to give, you know, 3 $1,000 scholarships. That's a lot of money for a small organization to give, you know, 3 students $1,000. This particular year, we gave one student $2,000 because we only had, you know, one active recipient and person that had applied. So there's many ways they can get in touch with us.
You know, that's a big deal. You know, right now with education is definitely in a flux. You know, I mean, my son's a 2020 graduate, so you know, we're experiencing it firsthand, the tug and pulls of what this year has been for students. I'm sure to some degree it will affect the 2021 graduates as well. But I'll say this: organizations that have stepped up like yours and have created scholarship programs, I think sometimes that it really does. I think it slips by me because we're living in such a busy society. But I can tell you that when scholarships are received from the students, it's a huge deal. My son received a scholarship this year, and it's a wonderful thing. It's not just the financial end; it's that an organization has trusted you with your career path and your education path. And we sat with my son in his case, and what that does, that bolsters the student when they head out to that college level. They know that some organization in the community decided to step up and say, look, we've got your back. You know, we wish you the best and we believe in you. That's a big thing. I think it's a huge confidence builder. So we talked really just a little bit about Cinderella's Closet. So why don't we both the ladies, Carolyn and Gertrude, why don't you both take a little bit of time? Let's talk about what that is. Certainly a little different maybe this year, but let's talk about that particular advocacy program if we could. Either one.
You want to start, Gert?
Okay. You start.
Okay. A couple of years ago, 2 years ago, we started this program. It's called Cinderella's Closet. And we asked for people to donate gently used evening gowns. Well, they really came through. They donated over 100 gowns the first year. This year we had 120 gowns. And what we do with the gowns is we have a nice, beautiful luncheon, and we auction the gowns off. And of course, the people know they're not going to get the gowns because the gowns are being donated to the girls who go into the prom that necessarily could not afford a gown for the prom. And so we donated 120 gowns this year and we raised $6,000. And as we said, we donate our money to charities and scholarships, and that's what we have done. So through that, this was our second year, and through that Cinderella Closet, we have made a lot of girls very happy. We wish we could get tuxedos for the boys. That might be the following year too. So far, it's been a very good success. And we actually have one of the other lodges in Tampa that is going to do the Cinderella Closet this year. So my goal when I started with that was to have all the lodges in Florida try and do a Cinderella. So all the girls throughout Florida would have their gowns.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Go ahead, Gert.
Our event was in March this past year, or I should say February, the end of February, and it turned out to be unbelievably wonderful. And all the ladies and the gentlemen that came were so receptive and so generous. The girls that modeled, each and every one of them did such a great job, and they came through. I think most of them were with us for the 2 years. So we had a great group of girls, and of course with Carolyn's ideas, and we all work. But it's not just one or two people. Believe me, everyone in the lodge takes part because we need tickets sold, and who needs to do the decorations, and who needs to remember the music, and everybody gets involved. So it was a very big event for us, but it was very rewarding, and we hope to continue this. Unfortunately, this year, because of the COVID, it has changed a little bit, but we are still working on what we're going to do for next year. So it's wonderful.
Well said. I have to tell you, when I was actually at the last event itself, it was remarkable. And you know, I don't know how organizations. I think it's a miss when organizations don't slow down sometimes and look at how they can assist members of the community. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, if you look back now, can you imagine not having done that? I know there were things that nothing's been easy this year, but I think when you touch a community like you have, and I mean I know you have before, but when you reach out and you're part of that community, that's something we say. It's not just you're not just in the community, you're part of the community. I think it's a major change to an organization. So that certainly has been that's been touched by COVID-19. But let me ask you this. So how do people, or who are you looking for to join the organization currently? I know that things are changed a little bit with the virus still affecting our communities, but so why don't you reach out and just explain, and Bob, since you're the pres right now, why don't you explain to us, so who are you looking for to be a part of what you're doing? I get you. There you go.
There I am.
There you go.
We're looking for, there's two types of members. There's people with the Italian heritage background.
Sure.
They can certainly join. We can also accept social members. So we would love to have anybody and everybody join us. Italian background, wonderful. Non-Italian background, you can only, you can't, you're a member, but there's certain things you can do and certain things you can't. And it's really not that big of a deal. We want everybody. We want everybody to be able to join us, work with us, because you know what? If we're really and truly committed to giving back to the community, then this is a good time to take a step back and say, okay, what can we do? What can individuals do? We're an organization that would drive that home for you. We eat well most of the time. These two ladies are great cooks. We have others, but we've done some other things in the past. As far as fundraisers, we've done wine tastings. We've done wine tastings at various homes. Carolyn's hosted one or two of those for us, and they were phenomenal. And it's just a different way to get to know people and become an organization. And an organization, like I said before, an organization within an organization, and also one that gives back. And that's what we're working towards at this point.
I guess that's a given that that I would think most people on the planet Earth are pretty aware that Italians are slightly known for the food aspect. I think that's pretty much a given on multi-generational perspective. I'm thinking.
Listen, Steve, my 87-year-old Italian mother lives with me. I don't need to get in any trouble. I don't need help from you to get in trouble tonight.
Gertude, did you have something you wanted to share?
I think we're all just happy to have anyone of any age bracket. We're not looking for just 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. Anyone that could join and be with us and participate, is willing to give back. Like Bob said, we have one of our members who right now is our recording secretary for the lodge, and she was a scholarship recipient years back on Long Island where she lived. And she said to me one time, she said, I'd like to be a member. And of course, she joined. Her mom is a member, and her dad was a member. He's deceased now. But she became a member. She brings her daughter to the meetings, although her daughter doesn't sit in with us. She sits on the other side of the room. She does her homework, whatever, but she brings her. But now she has become our recording secretary, and she feels she wants to give back because the Sons of Italy did for her when she was going to college. And I think that's what the whole thing is, to be able at any age to give back to your community and make friends and be with others. So it's very rewarding. And I think the more you do and the more you get involved in your local lodge, the more fun you have. So, and we do have a lot of fun. Bob didn't mention our night at the races in the springtime, the weekend of Kentucky Derby. We always celebrate with the night at the races. And then we have the car race in October, November, where we celebrate Italian heritage. So, and a lot of the community that might be listening tonight will know of that because they love it. They enjoy coming, and we have a lot of laughs, and we have a good time. And it's another way of us making money to give back to the community of Osceola County. So we encourage everyone to join us. Look on the website. When you asked before, that they should look on the Osceola County website of the Sons of Italy, and they'll be able to get, I believe we have applications right there, or they'll get a phone number they can call, like you said, any one of us. Usually, my number is usually on it. So I welcome anybody at any time to call my cell number.
Wonderful. I will make sure that I put those the links over to your website on this feed. I know we're getting a little bit in some time here. I would love to have you guys back. Would you come back and talk again?
Sure.
Yes. We
Would you
love
make,
it.
Bob, you got to unmute that mic for me.
Yes, I do. There I am. I would love to come back, Keith. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You know, I'll speak for myself. It's the older I get, the more cliches and sayings seem to be much more accurate in life. I don't know why, but I mean, to me, you know, it's I won't even start down that train of sayings right now, but because I had too many hit my head when Gertrude was talking. But I just know that, you know, when we're all able to get when everything is free for us to become much more social than we are now, I think we've gotten very good at staying social. Organizations like yourself, we've figured out how to stay connected. I think of we're better together and all the other cliches that were hitting my mind, but it's actually true. You know, I think,
Right.
and the other one is life is short, right? Well, obviously. But I think what makes it seem to not be quite so short is engaging with other people, engaging with people that you know, that you care about, that you have similarities with, that you have differences with, you know, being able to learn together. I think that's how we're supposed to be wired up. I really do. When I heard all of you share tonight, what I walked away with tonight is you have an organization with many years of history and heritage and culture, but you're opening your arms as you have for years and welcoming new people to your group. And I think that's where we're all going to land. I think when all the COVID is in the rearview mirror, I think we look forward and we see that we're valuing organizations more than we ever have before. So I am certainly blessed to have been able to speak to you guys tonight. Is there anything else you want to close with? I will make sure I put all those links on this post. Anything you want to close with before we say goodnight?
Yeah, I would say thank you very much for having us. It's been really a pleasure. And I want you to know that our lodge is 38 years strong as of yesterday.
Awesome.
So we have been in Osceola County a long time, and I believe we are all very proud of it. Thank you.
It should
Yes.
be.
Thank you, Keith.
I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity tonight.
Yes, thank you so much, Keith. It was great. And I know Gertrude said she's been a member for 15 years. I've been a member for 35 years. Yeah, so it's part of my life, big part of my life for sure.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you all coming tonight. Like I said, I will make sure I put the links for everything we discussed as far as so people can get a chance at investigating more of what we talked about tonight. But I just want to say thank you certainly to Carolyn Cianciotta, Gertude Dorries, and Bob Cardaci, all from the Order of Sons and Daughters of Italy, America. Thank you very much for being a part of Positively Osceola tonight. So have a great evening, and thank you for being here. And I look forward to our next discussion very soon.
Grazie.
Have a good night. Again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with the Sons and Daughters of Italy and America. Together, we're making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.